Welcome back to another delicious content creation. Ladies and germs, today we are going to do a stir fry. And once again, this is a multi-use recipe. What's going to happen is use this recipe as the base, and you can change the meat. We could talk about some other vegetables to throw in it, and I'm going to go over that in a little bit. But right now, we're going to retrain you and your brain on how to make homemade white rice without messing it up. It's pretty easy. Let's get into it. First off, with this recipe, we're going to make quite a bit of stir-fried rice. We want to be able to feed more than one person. Usually, I eat about a 2-person serving to maybe 3-person serving because I get hungry and I can eat everything in sight. So instead of just a regular small pot, we're going to get a bigger pot and make a big pot of rice so we can make a couple of stir-fries because we don't have a wok, and most people don't. Most people only have the regular, normal-looking 10-inch skillet pan type of a thing. This is a really good one. It's non-stick, which really helps with the stir-fry in a minute, and the rice being able to not stick. These are most desirable, or unless you got the actual wok, which also is made not to be sticky. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into making the rice. Let's go. Welcome back. Delicious content creation. Let's do it. Delicious content creation. Welcome back. Okay, let's do the ingredients. This is going to be simple. We got some white rice we're going to boil up. We're going to talk about how to do that. We got a little bit of onion. We're not going to use much of that, but we got the important ingredient here. You really want to not skimp on the soy sauce. You could use any soy sauce you want, but the Kiko, man, is the best because guess what? The only thing it has in it is water, which is so it's liquidy. Soybeans, which is why it's so saucy. Soy sauce, some salt, and some wheat. I just got from the store. And I was looking at the store brand one, and it had fructose and hydrogenated, granulated junk, or whatever the hell. Then we need some salt, so we got an iodized salt. We like that. In this recipe, I'm going to go ahead and throw in, even though this is the base recipe, this isn't part of it, but it's really good, some cabbage. We got the cabbage. And I'm also going to chop in some water chestnuts. That's also not part of the base recipe, but because I'm going to eat this, I'm going to definitely want to have a little bit of crispy and chunkiness. Also, we have pork. We're going to do a pork. We're going to go ahead and slice this up. We're going to treat this. We're going to go ahead and process this while the rice is cooking. I'm going to show you how to get this so that it's done very well, and that you're able to kill off as many parasites as possible, because everybody knows, if you don't, and I'm going to let you know, all pork has parasites. No matter where you get it from, no matter what grade it is, it's going to have some, but you want to do the best you can to get rid of them, kill them, and let your body digest them, and boop them out later. All this is going to be future poop. All of my recipes that I've ever made will be future poop after you enjoy them and have deliciousness in your life. So let's go. We're going to make the rice. Delicious content creation. Okay, delicious content creation. Just want to show you my semi-expensive watch. I am kind of proud of it. Don't know why. I just love looking at it. It's beautiful because it's made from Japan. Everybody knows that the best knives and the best timepieces come from Japan. What we're going to do now is we're going to make the rice. I got the extra large bucket here on the stove. I got this. This is your basic cup for alcoholics and Pong players. You know, they're definitely popular. What we want to do is we're going to go ahead and fill this. We're going to fill this cup up with rice all the way to the top. See that right out of the package? Just remember, you're a human being and you're polluted more than any other thing except for your automobile in this world. So we're going to take that 1 cup of rice. That's all. This is the recipe for perfect rice, ladies and germs. So watch, pay attention. I'm going to dump that right in there. See how that works? A lot of people want to wash them out and rinse them and all that other stuff. Come on. Get out of here with that. Now we need 2 cups of water. 1 cup water. Two cups water. See how that was? This is real-time action, ladies and germs. We just got almost everything we need for this rice to come out perfect. Only thing you need now, aside from turning it on, heating it up, is the magic ingredient of salt. Now listen, ladies and germs. Salt is a necessary ingredient. You want it to be iodized because iodine is also a necessary ingredient. But for something like this, you want to just throw a little bit in there. What it does is it sterilizes, it separates, it makes everything great. We're going to the actual electrical relationals. We're going to turn that sucker up to about a 7 or 8. Well, let's turn it really high. What we want to do is have this boil. As soon as that boils, we're going to turn it down to like a 2.5 or a 3 on the electrical. And then we're going to put a lid on it. Now, sometimes you got a pot and you don't got a lid that fits just perfectly. You can always just rip off a piece of aluminum foil and stick it on there. You put a plate on there. And the plate will hold the steam in. But what we're looking for right now is we're going to get this to boil. So we will take the magical utensil that scientists across the entire world have decided is the universal method of doing things with on the stove. It's called a spoon. We're going to go ahead and stir this salt in there, mix that up a little bit. It's going to get cloudy. Now, believe me, a lot of people say, hey, you need to wash that off because it's dirty and it's got this and that and the other. No. I'm a human being and I eat everything. I drink more alcohol than there is disgusting bacteria in this thing to kill me off with. So we're going to let this stuff turn to a boil. We'll be right back because with video editing, I can go ahead and go to the next footage while this is boiling. Then we'll put a lid on it, turn it down, so you will know how to make a perfect pot of rice. Now listen, once this comes to a boil and then we turn it down to simmer and put a lid on it, that's the countdown. That's when you want to go 20 minutes. Then shut it off. Doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter what's going on, but we're going to follow this rice. I want you to be able to make this rice. It's 50% of the stir-fried rice we're making today. And generally, I want you to understand this as well. The stir-fried rice changes with whatever meat you put in it. You put some shrimp stir-fried rice. Put some chicken stir-fried rice. Pork, you put the pork stir-fried rice. Put the beef, the bop. You can put your tennis shoe in there, and you got tennis shoe stir-fried rice. Let's go. This is going to boil. We'll be back. Delicious. Delicious content creation. We're back at you again. It took literally a matter of about 2 to 3 minutes for this rice to start looking like it's boiling. Now it's starting to boil. You can see it. There it is right here and right there. That's not boiling like we want it to. It is boiling. That's the beginning of boiling. We want it to rapid boil. It's going to rapid boil here in a minute. So you'll know the difference. This is boiling. Okay, let's give it a little stir. This way, if there's anything sticking on the bottom of the pot, it'll release just because we want it to rapid boil. And give it a stir, and what happens is that we get rid of the fake boiling. And go straight to the real boiling. Okay, here it goes. There we are. Now, I took this piece of aluminum foil I'm going to use as a lid, and I give it a little pinch on the end so I'd be able to grab it off later. That's getting ready to rapid boil. That's about good enough. You don't have to wait for it to just start boiling up with foam. What you want to do at this point is turn it down to about the 3 to the 2.5-ish on the electricals, and then put the lid on it. What will happen now is that it's going to lower down in temperature, but it's going to keep boiling rapid. Now in 20 minutes from now, 20 minutes, look, there it is, 12:48. 20 minutes from now will be 8 minutes after the hour of 1 o'clock, I believe. 20, 40, 50, 60. Yeah, it'll be 8 minutes after. We'll come back and take this lid off. Now, what's going to happen is it is going to get some boiling bubbles, and this thing's going to rise up. It may even overflow a little. Keep an eye on that while it's doing it. You can always wipe that off as it flows out or fight with it later on to clean it off after the rice is done. But in 20 minutes... we're going to shut this off. We're going to see incredible looking rice. Then we're going to set it aside and leave it sit so that the rice can separate enough to make the stir-fried rice be stir-fried rice and not stir-fried mashed potato rice. Because the rice will turn into a paste and a goo and a blob if you don't do it right. So right now, there it goes. Look at, there it goes. Oh, speak of the devil. See how it's rising up? Yeah, that. See what it's doing? Look, watch it. We'll let it do it again. Just so you can see. There it goes. Puffy puff. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. Sideways looking. Uh-oh, my bad. I forgot I'm a vertical videographer. Let's go ahead and leave that alone. We'll be back in 20 minutes. So at I think it was 8. We'll come back at 8 minutes after the hour, and then this one I had 20 minutes, and then we'll have perfect steamed rice. Delicious. I think I'll just have a little bit of rice by itself because it's so good. Just white rice by itself. Maybe a little butter and some salt and pepper on it or something like that. Yeah. Delicious! Delicious content creation. Okay, let's get to the meat. This is the pork. These are the parasites inside the pork. What we want to do is we're going to season and marinate this pork while that rice is cooking. So we got about 20 minutes to let this go ahead and do what we want it to do. Let's kill it with the pepper. We love pepper and salt. The magical ingredients to cook just about anything. We got maybe a tablespoon of salt right here. I'm a cook, so I really do know how to do this magically by my hands. I've been cooking for years, 15 years in the restaurant industry. Let's get salt on this dogger. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and grind it like we're a salt grinder. That looks like a lot, but we're doing both sides right now at the same time. Now, we're going to go ahead and soy sauce this because soy sauce is going to be part of the entire situation when it comes to the stir-fried rice. We have pork stir-fried rice, and soy sauce is what makes the stir-fried be the rice in the stir-fried rice. So we're going to take this package right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to dump that into a plastic bag, and we're going to let it marinate inside the plastic bag. Now that's right out of the package, guys. Don't worry about it. Okay? It's going to be no difference. This is right out of the package. It was clean when it went in that package, I'm sure. Well, now look what's going on. Okay, we got all that salt and all that pepper in there. Oops, I'm sorry. I should have put it in front of you. Look what's going on here. We're going ahead and mixing all that salt and pepper in there. That's right out of the bag. We stuck it in there right out of the package. And now it's getting the soy sauce. It's going to have its flavoring. This is called marinating. We're going to marinate that for the 20 minutes, a little bit longer, in the refrigerator, or you can leave it on the counter. It's not going to matter because it's only 20 minutes. We're going to tie that up. I'm going to marinate that pork. And what's going to happen is that salt, that pepper, and then that soy sauce, which is even more salt and soy and wheat. We've seen it was the actual real ingredients. We try to use real ingredients, okay? When we're going to put in the onion, it's going to be a real onion, not something from a can. No canned mushrooms, no canned nothing. We're going to slice a little bit of cabbage on the side there to just give it some flavor, even though that's not the recipe. Base recipe would be no onion and no cabbage, but definitely the recipe calls for, and I forgot to tell you this at the beginning, some stir-fried vegetable action. We want frozen vegetables. The stir-fried vegetable mix goes in first before everything else because it's frozen. And we put in the other fresh ingredients, which will be the onion and the cabbage, a little bit of that. We're going to have this meat in there. When we do the meat and the vegetables all together, that goes in first. When we season it all up with a little more soy sauce, that's going to make it all have delicious taste. When we put the white rice in, we won't have to add too much more soy sauce for it to change into the actual stir-fried rice. So what I want to show you is the one and only thing from a can that I'm going to do this time. It's going to be the water chestnuts, but that's pretty much the only way you can get them. So we cracked it open like with my manual can opener. I'll open that again later, and we dumped out the water. We don't want that, but we want these chestnuts. We're going to do a little choppy chop on them. Throw them in with everything. We're going to do this like we do everything. We're going to get a couple of bowls and put everything in bowls and get ready to go ahead and throw it in as a stir fry. And then we're going to stir fry rice up this hair sucker. And then we're going to deliciously eat stir fried rice. Now, with stir fried rice, what we have a lot of times, and what we're going to do this time, and because it's just traditional, is we scramble up a couple of eggs. And then later chop that up and throw it in while we do the stir fry of the rice at the very end. So in other words, we'll cook up the meat, the vegetables, stir fry, get those nice and hot and tossed. We would have already had these ready and along to the side, scrambled into just, regular scrambled eggs. Then when we combine the rice, we put in the scrambled eggs with the rice and the ingredients and toss it up. And then, boom, delicious stir-fried rice. This is going to be pork stir-fried rice. Delicious content creation. We'll be back in a second when that rice is boiled up. We're going to go ahead and take care of some prep. We'll be right back with you. Deliciousness. Okay, delicious content creation. We are at 6 up. I think it was 8 up that we started this, which would be about 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes is ideal. Hey, we're at home. It doesn't matter if you go a minute or over or a minute or under. It just matters what the rice looks like. So let's check out the rice. Look at that. Okay. My God, that looks great. I am impressed. Let's go ahead and check it with the spoon. There we go. We're going to do the spoon test. Now it's still on. It's still on at about a solid 2.5, 3. This is what it looks like up close. See how it's nice and separated and everything. And what we want to do, because right now it's sticky, it's very soft. We're going to go ahead and shut that off. And what we're going to do is see the thickness by taste test. Perfect thickness, beautifully soft. We're going to just move that over to another area right over here where the pan is that we're going to use. Now there's the overflow that I was talking about. Best thing to do about that is immediately get yourself one of these sponges or a cloth that has a lot of wetness, a lot of water. This will come right off. If you leave it there, what'll happen is it'll turn hard and it'll be very difficult to get off. Now that is pretty much 100% gone. We'll take a little paper towel that I used earlier that had some water on it and stuff. Actually, this is very soapy. And we'll take a different one to soak up the soap. This one doesn't have soap. So what we want to do is stay clean. Always stay clean. Clean up when you're cooking. Makes things a lot nicer, a lot easier. I'm going to eat this spoonful of rice. We're going to let this other rice over here where it came from go ahead and sit for a couple seconds. Now all through this we've had the meat marinating. Let's go back over there. We're just gonna can opener this can, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out these water chestnuts. Look at that. Oh my gosh. All right, the water should be out of the chestnuts. We're going to put them on this plate. All right, all of this is going to go into the recipe because, you know, it's something that I want to eat. I want to eat it all. And so we're going to put it all in there. Now, a lot of times, you don't want a lot of this, that, or the other. What I'm going to do to these chestnuts is the next time you see them, they'll be pretty much all chopped into pieces like that. Do you see how I'm doing that? See those pieces? That's pretty much where you want them at. Just go ahead and do them like that. You know, you want them to be in there, and every now and then you'll get a bite of a little bit of crunchiness, which makes it taste good. You know, so we're just going to go ahead and do that with those. Now, we are back again with our onion. We're just going to go ahead and take a nice chunk of this onion off. We don't want a whole bunch. We're not trying to overpower anything. So we're going to take that onion to the side there. And we're going to go ahead and do this choppy chop. Just like that. Nice little pieces. Remember how nature already chopped it this way? All of those little... Oops, wait a minute. Come back over here. Okay, then you know how nature already chopped them this way. Got all those lines. All you got to do is go like that. And what you end up having is a chopped up onion. So we're going to only put that much in there. We'll go ahead and teach this guy a lesson. It's the tougher outside one, but it cooks up just the same. We're going to go ahead and get that right here. Okay, all this is going to play into it. Now, I'm going to throw just a little bit of cabbage in there. So what we want to do is, we want to either figure out if we want cabbage bites, or if we want shredded pieces of cabbage in there, which is a little bit longer. So let's just say if you went with this is what we're going to go with. And then you just give them a little chop down the middle. What you have is a lot of regular bite-sized type cabbages. So we can do that with the cabbage, and then we'll have that in the bowl. Now, it depends on how much stir fry you're going to make. If you're going to make a large amount, which is all of the rice together, then you might want to take some of the cabbage leaves like this, and then so that there's a little bit more bite, just do a little tear. Then these things will be in there with the other ones. it's always delicious because this is going to get stir-fried. The rice, the cabbage is going to get stir-fried into it. What we have here is the marinated meat. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to shred this up very thinly, and we're going to have that on another plate. So I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and cut this up real fine for the next step of the recipe. Delicious content creation. We're going to do some slicing on the meat. Delicious! Delicious content creation. Now let's go ahead and take care of this pork. What we want to do is we want to get it to where we can do nice slivers of pork like that. See that? That's when we stir fry this meat. It's going to get cooked really well, which also is what you do to kill off the parasites. You want this meat to be very well done and in strips. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and make strips like this of the pork because it's been marinating for about 20 minutes too, maybe 25 now. And we're just going to go ahead and just cut it down into strips as best as possible. You don't have to be perfect. This is you at home now. You're cooking this at home. If we want restaurant grade, we'd have restaurant tools. We'd be doing restaurant stuff. So that would be the consistency we're looking for. You want to do all of that pork that we seen earlier that we marinated, all three of them just like this. That's going to make this really stand out as a stir-fried rice at home, because see, you're not going to have to pay per pound like the restaurants and get charged crazy. You can go heavy on whatever it is that you want more of. If you want more vegetables, go heavy on it. If you want to add some broccoli, add some broccoli. We got some water chestnuts, some cabbage. We're going to do the stir-fried, well, scrambled eggs always have gone with stir-fried rice. It's one of those things. You don't always have to have that either. We have it, so we're going to use it. We're getting that rice to cool down, so we're going to go ahead and shred up this meat the rest of the way. Then we're going to go over to the stove. We're going to stir-fry some rice, and we're going to have some delicious content eating. That's what the whole creation is about. So deliciousness is going to be delicious in a moment. Let me do some cutting, some prep. That's what they call it in the restaurant, is prep work. I'm going to prep this food up. We're going to go to the stove, and we're going to eat deliciousness. Okay, delicious content creation back. Here we go. The meat is all shredded and chopped up. Now we're going to go ahead and beat up a couple of eggs, which is nothing special. I think everybody knows how to scramble eggs, but if you never have, we just go ahead and crack that in there like that. That is one egg, and that is two eggs. Okay, now, all you need to do is take a fork, beat it up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is scrambled eggs right there. That's their scrambled, see? Now what we're going to do first is we're going to get the pan hot. We're going to put some oil. I'm going to scramble this egg into the entire bottom of the pan. Okay? Then we're going to take the egg. We're going to put it into a plate. Boom. Then we're going to slice the egg into shreds and set that aside. Then we're going to take the meat. Okay? Always with stir fry, you want to start with the meat. We're going to stir fry that really hot in the same pan. Then, as that's cooking, we're going to add in the vegetables, some more soy sauce. Remember the good Kiko Man style, very, very naturally made and healthy. And then we're going to throw in some rice and brown it up a little bit more. Then serve up a plate of stir fry. Then, after I do that for the video, we're going to cook up the rest so everybody over here can have some. But I'm going to just make the one serving because we don't have a wok where I can put it all together and make it all at once into one big stir fry. But we want you to see how to make it individually at home, and also with the amount of ingredients we have, you will be able to do it for at least 4 people. So we're going to go ahead and make some stir fry. Let's go cook. Delicious content creation. We are cooking. Oh, delicious content creation. We're back at the stove. We're going hot. We're going on the high flame. Hot as this electrical stove will get. We want this sucker to go ahead and get nice and hot. Now to start off with, we got ourselves a brand new bottle of healthy, unhealthy vegetable oil. But what we want to do is just throw just a drop in there. Just a drop, okay? Because that pork has a whole bunch of its own fats. Now we're going to do the 1 serving size for the stir fry, which is this. But right now what we need to do is get these eggs cooked so that we can mix it in later. We're getting hot. Okay, we got that pan hot, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get this in there like that. You hear that wonderful sizzling sound? And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use this to put that egg back in, because it's going to cook the egg that's in the bowl from just being hot out of the pan. So we're going to go ahead and spread it out. This is what you want to do with that. There it goes. There, you see how that's just turning into one large egg. One large pan of egg. We want it to cook. We want it to cook, and now what we're going to do is we have this spatula. We all love to have a spatula around to mess with the egg. Now see how it's just cooking right through. Even the raw egg on top is starting to get cooked. We don't care. We want it to go ahead and get like that. We want it to cook on one side, not the other. It doesn't matter. Let's get it to not stick. It's gonna move around here. That'll tell us it's almost done. Now what we want to do is we want to cut it into strips, just like this. Okay, just like that. See, it's almost done. I want to cut it into strips, just like that. That's the secret right there, one of them, and it's getting cooked on the bottom. We do want it to kind of get that hard skin from cooking that eggs do when they turn into like plastic. I don't know what the deal is with eggs that, at the edges when you're cooking them, they turn plastic. But what we want is what we're getting right here. Look at that. Well, it's all moving around. It's not stuck. Okay, and now we want to just chop them. We want to just chop them. We want to just chop them. Look at that brownness. That's great. Look at that. That's exactly what we want. And just chop it. Just chop it a little bit. Okay. Now see, this is so hot. This is so hot that when you put it back in this bowl, it's going to cook that egg too. So we're just going to throw it in there. That's where we want it. We're going to throw it into the stir fry here in a minute. Now we're going to town. Now we're going to go ahead, get some of this meat. See that? That's enough of that right there for one issue. That's a good stir fry issue of meat. Throw a little extra. We're on real time here with Dealer's Content Creation. We're getting ready to stir fry it up. We're doing it. Yeah! Doing it for real. Right here in the stir fry kitchen of stir fried riceness. Let's get this sucker to cook. We're still on high. We haven't stopped being on high since we put the eggs in. We want it to be on high. Okay, now keep your ingredients close. You want to have your soy sauce close. What we're going to do now is make sure we can get those vegetables to fry up. So we're going to put some oil, just a dab, and that wasn't very much. You do the same at home. All right, look at that. See how that pork's cooking? You cannot overcook this pork. You'll want to have that pork nice and cooked. Go ahead and let it cook. Now what you want to, oh my gosh, I almost spilled it. Now what you want to do, you just go ahead and let it cook. Just flip it over, get it nice and brown. And at this point, you want to hit it with just a little sauce and get it all to get in there like that. Look at that meat. It's just absorbing all that soy sauce. Now it's time for the crunchy stuff you're going to put in. Okay? We got the mixture here. The onion is underneath the chestnuts. So I'm going to put a little onion. And I'm going to put a little chestnuts. We're going to do the major one later when I make the whole one. For everybody else, we're going to get some of this cabbage. We're going to have a little bit of that cabbage in there. All right, we're going to mix that around. We're stir frying that up. Now we're going to get those to cook, and they're going to cook down. Now as this cooks down, those vegetables are going to let you know what's going on. See some of that meat? Still got to get cooked. We're getting it around here. Now watch this. I'm going to throw just a little more soy sauce so that those vegetables will have their day. All right, we got that soy sauce in there. These vegetables are cooking up. We got onion, a little bit of cabbage, that's all. And we got some water chestnuts that really do absorb most of the other soy sauces and salts and everything. It all kinds of kind of all blends together here once this gets nice and cooked down. So now that we have that there, what we want to do is take some of the mixed vegetables. Don't forget those. We're going to put just a handful into this one because those mixed vegetables are going to also suck up a lot of that leftover soy sauce. But plus, as these pieces of pork get nice and crispy and delicious and cooked well, those vegetables that come out of the frozen aisle, and that's the one you want. You don't want a canned vegetable for this. It'll turn to mush. Those frozen vegetables have a frost and a coldness in them where they add some cold water to this. It's kind of like adding a little water. You'll see it all starting to fry up by itself there. And the more this cooks, the more those vegetables that are frozen get soft to where they're al dente and almost ready to eat. So you want all that mixed together. Very simple. You get a little bit of cabbage shredded, a little bit of whatever. I mean, right now, if you're doing this part of it, if you had a wok, it'd be a lot hotter. We'd be stirring it a lot quicker. Most Asians will put in a little corn syrup in there, mixed up corn sauce, not corn syrup, cornstarch, my bad. Most Asians will put a little bit of cornstarch in there, give it a glazy look, so it's nice and glossy and restaurant style. Now, that's always good for looks, but I'm pretty sure that cornstarch will end up giving you some constipation later on if you have too much. So now these vegetables that were frozen, they're in there getting nice and hot. They're cooking down. This is all cooking down. Okay, so what we want to do is go ahead and add some rice to it. But we definitely want this to cook well. I want this to go just a little bit longer. And as you're seeing, this is a total of maybe 3 minutes into it of cooking this up together and getting those frozen vegetables in there. We want it to be actually just a little kind of burnt, I guess, but not burnt. We just want it to be nice and cooked. See like how this looks. It's got a little bit of tinge to it. The pork is getting nice and brown. That's what we want, is a nice brown pork. Those vegetables are getting cooked because they were frozen. Now they're not. Let's go ahead and add some rice. Here's our rice. It's cooled down while we were doing all the vegetables, and as you can see, it's just in the right condition to turn into stir fry. So we're going to chuck in there a nice pile of it, like let's say 1 plate worth. Okay? Now, what's going on here is that rice is in there. I'm going to throw a little more sauce because that's what's going on with it. 1 dash of vegetable oil again, just so that it stir fries and doesn't stir mush. We want it to be sizzling. So watch how this changes colors. This is literally turning brown and stir fried ricey right in front of you. The more you mix it, the stir fried or ricerier it gets. Delicious content creation, we're making stir fried rice. Okay, so as those things turn colors, the trick is to break them down. You want to break down the white into the brown so that it looks brown. That's what stir-fried rice is, not white rice mixed with vegetables. So if it doesn't turn brown enough, then what you want to do is just a little dab more, just a sprinkle of soy sauce, not too much, just enough color change. Now as you see, it's getting crunchy. It's a real good situation when you got that crunchy dried stuff in there. So when you go to eat your stir-fried rice, it tastes more authentic. So see, we still got white everywhere. You'll know it's done when you have all that white brown. So this is pork stir-fried rice. You could change it by using shrimp, or you can use chicken, or if you want beef stir-fried rice. If you use beef, I'd say put some broccoli in there. Beef broccoli flavor, you know, it's really Asian. This is getting nice and crispy now. As you can see, it's starting to burn. Look at that. Look at that. Come here, you. Oh my God, that's the one. Look at that. That's the story right there. Not that nice brown looking. Throw that guy in there. He escaped. Nice brown looking. Oh, he jammed out the other way. Yeah. Man, those vegetables will just go wherever they want. So we're stir frying. I don't want to start a fire. I'm going to turn this off because we're just doing the 1 plate at this moment. And then, because we're using a non-stick pan, we'll get that nice glazy brown cooked, result. All of those vegetables now have been cooked down to where they're nice and soft. we're going to go ahead and put this on a plate. Delicious content creation. We're plating up this stir-fried rice right out of the pan. This is just the greatest. Now, if you're good with chopsticks, you could eat this with chopsticks, because then that'll make you a hero among your peers. They'll be like, wow, he knows how to use chopsticks. Okay, but look at that. Oh, look at that. You know what we forgot to do? We don't have to do it. We can do it this way with a little bit of egg on top of that. Usually I mix it in, but that is just as good. Look at that. It's almost a garnish. So now we have delicious content creation stir-fried rice. You've seen all the ingredients from nature and from natural. I am going to cook some more of this up for the other people around. But before I do that, I'm going to take a taste. Thank you, Lord, for this food I'm receiving. Make nourishing health in my body. In Jesus' name. Oh my God. Okay, that is delicious. And we have some of that spicy chili sauce to put on one side of it. I'm gonna hit this side with a little bit more soy sauce, because I like soy sauce just a little bit. Ladies and germs, delicious content creation. We are not playing around, man. If you want to eat healthy and if you want to eat good and you want to eat at home, you see how easy this was to do. Okay. Next video, we out.